There's a magic about this charming yet confounding kingdom that casts a spell on visitors. An adventure to Cambodia will inspire travelers to contemplate what happens when ancient and modern worlds collide. The Khmer Empire was one of the first organized political states in Southeast Asia. From its enormous capital at Angkor Thom, the kingdom held sway over territory that includes present-day Cambodia, Laos, Thailand, and southern Vietnam for nearly 500 years. Its rulers referred to themselves as God Kings, but succession was not hereditary. Instead, male members of the family competed to succeed to the throne upon an emperor's death. Khmer kings built massive stone temples to serve as their resting place on earth, and which survive as testament to their power a millennium later. The fall of the Khmer Empire is a puzzle that archaeologists and historians have wrestled with for decades. Several major factors have been cited as contributors to the demise of Angkor. War with the neighboring polity of Ayutthaya, conversion of the society to Theravada Buddhism, increasing maritime trade which removed Angkor's strategic lock on the region, overpopulation of its cities, climate change bringing an extended drought to the region. The difficulty in determining the precise reasons for Angkor's collapse lies in the lack of historical documentation. Contemporary Cambodia is the successor state to the mighty Khmer Empire. The remains of this former kingdom can be seen at the fabled temples of Angkor, monuments unrivaled in scale and grandeur in Southeast Asia. The traveler's first glimpse of Angkor Wat, the ultimate expression of Khmer genius, is sublime and is matched by only a few select spots on Earth, such as Machu Picchu or Petra. Just as Angkor is more than its Wat, so too is Cambodia more than its temples, and its urban areas can surprise with their sophistication. Chaotic yet charismatic capital Phnom Penh is a revitalized city earning plaudits for its sumptuous riverside setting, cultural renaissance, and world-class wining and dining scene. Second city Siem Reap, with cosmopolitan cafes and a diverse nightlife, is as much a destination as the nearby iconic temples. An up-and-coming Battambang, reminiscent of Siem Reap before the advent of mass tourism, charms with a thriving contemporary art scene. From north to south, visitors can welcomely experience the rhythm of rural life and landscapes of dazzling rice paddies and swaying sugar palms in Cambodia's countryside. The south coast is fringed by tropical islands dotted with the occasional fishing village. Inland lie the Cardamom Mountains, part of a vast tropical wilderness providing a home to elusive wildlife and a gateway to emerging ecotourism adventures. The mighty Mekong River cuts through the country and hosts some of the region's last remaining freshwater dolphins. The Northeast is a world unto itself, its mountainous landscapes home to Cambodia's highland people and an abundance of natural attractions and wildlife. Angkor Wat is an architectural masterpiece and the largest religious monument in the world, covering an area 4 times the size of Vatican City. It was built by the Khmer king Surya Varman II in the first half of the 12th century, making Angkor Wat almost 900 years old. The temple complex, built in the capital of the Khmer Empire, took approximately 30 years to build. It was originally dedicated to the Hindu god Vishnu before becoming a Buddhist temple by the end of the 12th century. As a matter of fact, Angkor Wat is a miniature replica of the universe in stone and represents an earthly model of the cosmic world. The central tower rises from the center of the monument, symbolizing the mythical mountain, Meru, situated at the center of the universe. Its 5 towers correspond to the peaks of Meru. The outer wall corresponds to the mountains at the edge of the world, and the surrounding moat the oceans beyond. To get to the amazing Angkor Wat, visitors usually have to arrive at Siem Reap first. This metropolitan is usually seen by travelers as among Cambodia's top places to visit due to it being the base for Angkor Archaeological Park. But the town itself offers more things to do beyond the mighty temples. This is the country's major activity center, with bundles of tours on offer, from cycle trips around the lush countryside just outside of town to Cambodian cookery tours. Shoppers will also find plenty to keep them occupied, as central Siem Reap is brimming with opportunities to browse traditional crafts. Make sure to visit Angkor National Museum before heading to Angkor Wat itself, to dose up on the history of the site. As a national destination, the exhibits here explore the breadth of culture and artistry of the Khmer Empire. While many travelers may be familiar with Cambodia's rich cultural history and places to visit, like the temples of Angkor Wat, the country has hundreds of miles of beautiful beaches along the Gulf of Thailand. Just off Cambodia's south coast lie a scattering of islands just as beautiful as their Thai counterparts to the west, but much less visited. Compared to the now very developed islands of Koh Samui and Phuket, Cambodia's islands are a slice of laid-back tropical bliss, where sun and sand take center stage, and the big resorts have yet to make their mark. Of all the islands, Koh Rong Sam Lom is one of the most beautiful, with the long, sandy Sarasan Bay home to a dozen beach hut resorts that offer a welcome respite from the world. It's really all about hammock time here, but there's plenty of scuba diving activities on offer for the more active. Koh Rong Sam Lom is even called the Maldives of Cambodia, and without a doubt the Cambodian beach lives up to its name. Most people know Cambodia from the famous temples of Angkor Wat, the backdrop for the movie Tomb Raider, but there are plenty of other stunning sights to witness throughout the country. Cambodia, with its rich culture, history, and natural splendor, has plenty to offer its visitor. Make your move to this Asian country and see why Cambodian ever fail to deliver satisfaction.